Welcome to Hey Podcasters, where we bring live discussion with our podcasters' guests, find answers, and gain new answers to some of the most challenging questions about podcasting. We believe it's the best way to get tips and learn.
Well, here I am, Margo Lovett, and I feel like a little kid in the candy store. These conversations that I have with these podcasters, it goes from A to Z, what they're covering. And now I understand all the more why we were friends. We were support systems. We were the go-to people so many times during this pandemic. But today, I am here with on-air personality, journalist. Oh, this woman has walked the red carpet with all of the influencers. And I'm talking about Taylor Ferber, and her podcast is Cancel Me, Baby. Taylor, thank you for joining me.
Oh. Absolutely. Thank you for being the world's best hype woman. I officially want to hire you and just bring you everywhere with me. Hey. So if you wouldn't mind, that would be amazing.
I love what you're doing. I took the time to listen to Cancel Me, Baby. I wondered what it was all about. First of all, your copy is just like, who writes her copy? I want to listen to each and every episode. But before we get started, I know you went to Penn State. Take us back to those days, and you may still be doing it. But what is it like to walk that red carpet and actually have access to the influence? Kardashians, Oprah, you were there at all of the Oscar parties. Take us there, Taylor.
You name it. You're right. I have been there. I have been front row at the Emmys next to Chrissy Teigen. I have been in Ludacris's trailer, and not in a creepy way, okay? But you nailed it. I have been there. And, I have a really mixed, relationship, love-hate thing with it, right? I really love the glamour and the larger than life appeal. It's like sort of this untouchable world, right? Yes. So it was really fun to be immersed in it, and the make-believe and all of that. It's really fun. But being so immersed in it, I really saw a side of it that I feel people don't see. Mm-hmm. It was really, I saw a lot of things. Number one, I saw how human celebrities really are. I also, and I talk about this on my show a lot, I saw how out of touch they are. So I think, while I still love that world, I saw everything. And that's what I really tried to bring forth. I have my own site. It's called Talk to Me, Taylor. So I would go on red carpets, and I really couldn't stand the whole, we're here at this premiere. Tell me about the role. Tell me about your outfit. Boring, right? Yeah. Snooze, I'm drooling. So I would go out on red carpets with a selfie stick. So in a way, no one else was. And I would talk to celebrities about things no one else was. Really fun, provocative, sexy issues. And in turn, they were human. They would grab my selfie stick. They would get all up in the camera, and they would show themselves in a way no one else would get them to. Obviously, the pandemic, the entire industry imploded. So I kind of carried that on now to your point about my show, Cancel Me, Baby. And I bring these stories out, and I talk about celebrities from my firsthand raw experience in a way no one does. And I still talk about all these issues in pop culture and really get into it. So I'm still continuing, these dialogues that people are afraid to have, dare I say.
Oh my goodness. I love what I listened to. And, just to be able to make that, as they say, this overworked word, pivot, to make that pivot, because you are up to episode number 85. Yes. And I'm sure you have over 85, 2 times, 3 times over, with all that you've seen and experienced. And just, behind the scenes, things that people would just die if we knew. But you also make us think, because what you did with the celebrities dating and sharing all this personal information, when is too much too much? You pose a wonderful question.
Yes. Yeah. And absolutely, to your point, what's different about what I do is it's definitely not a gossip show. I can't be bothered with who's dating who, the Perez Hilton. I'm over, that's never been my thing. And when I was in LA as a freelance reporter, I worked for these gossip sites like Us Weekly, and I had to get that information out of celebs, and it always kind of made me feel icky. So yes, on my show, it's provocative, it's irreverent, it's funny, it's sexy, but it does go deeper. And to your question about sharing too much, it's really interesting because these celebrities can go on here on their phone any 5 seconds and they could show us them tweezing their eyebrows. I mean, we get every little detail. My issue with it, though, is the ones who do that and then turn around and say that their privacy is always being evaded and intruded. It's like, well, no, you can't have it both ways. I always say on my show, pull a Harrison Ford, cozy up in Timbuktu in your log cabin and come out whenever you feel. We don't have to see you if you don't want us to. So, you can't have it both ways.
I agree. I totally agree. You're smart and you're strategic with your episodes and you make us think, but you still satisfy that, oh, but I want to know about that person. I wasn't at that party. I probably will never get to one of those parties. What was that like? Because we all have that appetite to see behind the red, what is it? The purple curtain, or what is that?
The velvet rope.
The velvet rope. There
Yes.
you go. Show you what I've been. We all want a taste of that. And you bring us there, but you make us think also. And it's just very smart the way you're podcasting. This thing is set up just amazing. It's like, wow, even your art, your graphics, you guys, you got to go over there and check her out. I mean, this is some smart podcasting. I love it.
What? Thank you so much. And I love what you're doing, showcasing podcasters, because I want people to know I do everything on my own. I'm a one-woman show. I write the copy, I shoot the eps, I conceptualize. Every now and then I'll have listeners or friends to help, brainstorm and things like that. But I do everything. I put the episodes up literally start to finish. So I know it's a really oversaturated world. I know it can get discouraging, but you can do it. You can do it. I do, and I'm also a control freak, so I don't mind doing it, but I want people to be inspired. You can totally do it. There's nothing stopping you.
If you didn't believe that, we wouldn't have access to your voice, to your experience. You are giving us years of experience that people want to know. So thank you for addressing that, because so many people feel like, I can't podcast. This is too much for me. Oh, I don't have anything to say. But what if Taylor felt the same way? Then we wouldn't have these insights. And like I say, you could be a copywriter, a content creator any day. I had no idea you're doing all of this. So it speaks to you as a journalist. It speaks to you as a control freak in a good way, because you know what you want to bring out to the world. And that's what this celebration is all about, letting people know there's some smart, wickedly smart folks doing podcasts. And those old days of sitting in the garage and talking about what I had for dinner and lunch, those days are over.
Absolutely. And let's also address the elephant in the room, which is the fact that everybody is afraid to speak up right now, right? You say one thing, you do one thing, and you're canceled. I mean, look at the sign you have. It says you've got a powerful voice. It's right behind you. And that's what I really try to encourage on my show. I can't tell you how many times I have people, men, women, regardless of where they are, color, doesn't matter. They always reach out going, thank you for saying this. I totally agree, but I'm scared, but I totally agree, but you're the only person saying this. And I think about it too. I mean, I've called out entities as big and as scary as Disney. Okay. We all know the reach that Walt Disney Co. has. But to me, it's so worth it, because to be able to have these dialogues that people want but are afraid to have, and uncover things and call things for what they are in hopes of actually moving us forward in a way that means something, not the surface level stuff. to me, that's worth it. So that's what I really want to encourage people. And you said it perfectly before we hopped on. It's like, cancel me, baby. It's kind of a dare you to the cancel culture. It's like, I'm going to say what I want to say. You want to come after me? Godspeed. I dare you. You know,
they're not going to cancel you. I think that you're on to something. They can't cancel you. And you also speak to journalism. We live in a country where we are able to pretty much, what we want to believe, that we can say what we want to say. I understand that when you're under news outlets and media outlets, studios and that type of thing, you can't say what you want to say, but thank God you position yourself where that you can be the journalist that you are and elevate the rest of us. I think this is fabulous. I really do.
Thank you. I mean, I have really strong feelings specifically about women-centric outlets. I recently wrote an op-ed in USA Today where I talked about this because I've worked for them. And these are sites and outlets that are supposed to be for women, by women, about women. And a lot of the times they're so curated in their narrative that they would shut down angles I would present to them. For example, bringing men into the fold, right? Isn't that what's going to help women eventually move forward? And these outlets, time and time again, would shut it down. We can't prop men up. God forbid. No, we can't bring men. Men are bad. Can't bring men into the fold. And that's what I mean with quote unquote journalism. A lot of these outlets are so dig their heels into their narratives that in the end, it doesn't even help the people they want to help. So that's also what I'm trying to do with my show, is break out of that, because a lot of the times these outlets and these networks, they really have you in a box.
Yeah, I see that. Even with podcasting, you get up under some networks with podcasts and there are hard, fast rules and oh boy, you know, so thank you for bringing out the liberty that we have as podcasters. You know, we are all decent and within, we set up our own parameters of right and wrong, and we leave it to our gut to go ahead and follow our North Star, say what we have to say. And Taylor Ferber, I am so glad that you are just keep saying what other people don't want to say. Keep revealing things that other people hope stay under the cover, the way that only you can. This voice belongs to you and you're doing it. So you're not hoping to do it. Lady, you are doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's really important to me. And not to bring a somber note, but I look at what's going on in Afghanistan, and I talked about it on my show. And, you know, these poor women, I mean, they can't even show their faces. God knows if they're going to even get, you know, an education. Doing a show like what I'm doing, you know, having my voice and education and freedom to speak, you know, that's why it's so important to me, and why I fight for our freedoms, especially as women, to think and to be educated and to say what we want to say, because not everyone has those freedoms, and we're really, you know, we're lucky. And so I don't take that lightly, and it's why I fight for it so hard, you know.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a very somber event that's going on, and gosh, we'll just have to watch and see what happens with that. But we have people like you on the front lines doing your thing, and that's a good thing. So I'm here with Taylor Ferber. She is the creator and the voice behind Cancel Me Baby. You'll catch her over on Apple. And you told us about your website. Take us over there. How do we find, I think you have a blog or something?
Yes. So my celebrity selfie stick interviews are on my site, Talk to Me Taylor, also on YouTube. It's all there. My selfie stick interviews, because my podcast is a video show. So you can find that on YouTube as well, on Instagram TV. I'm also, like you said, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, is Cancel Me Baby is my show. So I hope to see you guys there and get you in on the exciting, you know, provocative dialogues. It's been a blast.
Well, I tell you what, at the start of COVID, we all binged on something. I personally invite everybody to binge over on Cancel Me Baby. Taylor Ferber, I sure thank you.
Likewise, Margo. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So welcome. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to Hey Podcasters. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us in your favorite podcast app or connect with us on heypodcasters.com so that you don't miss our next episode. We wish you happy podcasting and see you in the next episode.